This is an ERP custom made for Rodco. It's a company that they distribute building materials and supplies. It's a pretty big company in Central America. What we created here is we use Force.com as a backend, and what you're seeing here is the standard Salesforce UI. Here you see the dashboard where each user can create, each department actually can create their own dashboard so that they can stay up to date with all the information they need to see at a glance once they log in. Besides this, we also have a list, user-generated lists, where they can create several lists for different objects so that they can check out information and be up to date and have easy access to all the information that they need. For example, they can see a customer detail, they can see the orders they have made, they can see the documents and the pending documents. However, this is the standard UI, and they apply what I call the click and wait pattern. Something very useful in Salesforce is the reports. For example, users have very robust reports that they can check out. For example, they can create graphs and they can create very custom and detailed reports in different ways. But more importantly, when they want to create a new report, it's very easy for them since they only have to drag and drop the information they want on the map, and they can do filters and they can do many useful stuff, even select by date, and there's many things they can do, and it's very robust. The only thing about these reports is that this is not extendable, and mostly the layout of the report it's based on what Salesforce does. So this is the same. The problem with Salesforce.com is that their UI, it's the old-fashioned way that they have to click and wait for everything and they have to select, and it's not very extendable, even though they have technologies like Visualforce that helps them create custom UIs. So instead of this, we decided to create a completely new custom UI, custom front end for Salesforce. So on mobile devices, you can actually connect straight to Salesforce, but when you're on the web, you have to use a proxy. But in this occasion, this time we use Node.js as a proxy, but however, this is a backend server that is much more robust because this allows us to use several technologies that I will show you further down this demonstration. Very specifically, here we're looking at the main screen of the application. You log into this application through OAuth using Salesforce.com OAuth. But the important thing here is that I used what I called an application pattern. Instead of using menus and what's traditional to ERPs, I decided to switch to applications so the users are more comfortable with the current way they use, especially their smartphones, so they can see the activities they have to do as applications rather than action or tasks on a menu bar. So here are several applications, and this is the view that the system administrator gets, but each user, depending on their profile, get access to different applications, and normally they have access from 2 to 5 or 7 applications depending on the department they work on. So here I'm going to show you a workflow from the sales department where we're showing 2 profiles, and on further demonstrations I will show you specific cases for each profile. So when you want to create a an order, I also used I also invented what I called a blogging pattern, when instead of creating new and having lists and having that traditional sense of the way, I created this as a blog so that you can create. I used the pattern again. This is just a way of visualizing this. I use this as a blog where you can create you can have visibility of all the orders you're working on. This is especially useful when you're working on one order, for example, here, and then you get a call from a customer and you have to start working on another order. This is also useful for the remote salesman. You see this application, this program works offline and online, so our remote salesmen get to take invoices even when they have no internet. So when they have no internet, they can accumulate all their orders in this way, and when they have internet, they can send it. We do not use for orders, we do not use automatic synchronization because we want to give control to the remote salesman onto where and when they want to send their orders in. So another pattern that I invented is the way you select products. You have the regular search bar that you can look for products, but also we arrange things into families, and by arranging product into families, we also created subfamilies. so that through simple click patterns, users can navigate all the products and have very little, from 5 to 10 products only to select to, instead of having to type. Sometimes they now rather to use them. So this is the way you add products. And for example, if you want to work on another invoice, you basically go down and you select it, and then you start selecting products for that invoice. This way, you, for example, you select products, and then you have this way to select products. When you don't have inventory, we do not allow them to add invoices, to add items to an order. So you can very quickly go about adding products to each order and then working on them. When you're ready, you can send them. This is the workflow for the people taking orders either on our warehouses or on the road. Once an order is sent, then you can go, then the billing department has to approve it, and we also have an application for that, where this is all the orders pending approval in order to become invoices. So here you can approve or reject the invoice, but also you can check out what's the status on that customer, how many other invoices they owe, in order to make that decision. You can also link directly to Salesforce, to the screen I showed you before, and you can also check out the items that relate to that order and the quantities and discounts in order to take a better decision. We have many applications. Most of them applications we have created out of the standard ERP needs, but also sometimes our users ask us to create several other applications. And this is what I called that when you build on the Monday executive meeting, you can get a request to build an application on any of these departments, and then by Friday normally we have it launched, created as an application and on the system already. We have applications for accounting, we have applications for inventory, for billing, and for treasury department. And another important part is that besides this running offline and offline, our backend allows us to have WebSockets. So every time you create an order and you have to modify inventory, or you create an or you're buying merchandise, you buy merchandise in the same way. You just have to select the company that's sending the items, and then you also add the products that you want that take care of that relate to that purchase order. And in that way you also use costing, and you have the information from the previous inventory. So this way you handle every single need from the application. The important part is that once something changes, either on customer or an order, the status of an order changes, is approved, for example, then it's moved to printing. So they are ready to print the invoice, provided there are not invoices being in the queue for printing, because we have expedite this. But everything is all the changes are propagated through WebSockets. So anything an inventory change, all connected customers are updated with this information. Every time an order status changes, if it's ready to ship, all the connected customers, all the connected applications, be it a mobile device or a desktop computer, are updated. All changes are propagated on real time. This is very important. We also have something I'm not allowed to show you in this demonstration, but we have an internal chat communication that is created also in this application. And every time someone does something, we also get a notification in a way of a social media feed, where you can actually see everything that is happening on the company.